The level of panic has reached an all-time high for deacons at Woke United Methodist. My inside sources are telling me that attendance at Sunday morning services, it has reached record lows. Yesterday morning, Bishop Talbert the Swan, he was giving another passionate sermon on mythical racism. Viewers watching at home were very confused because the cameras never panned to the audience. Normally, producers, they would show a live shot of the audience. They would show passionate parishioners squeezing Don's lemons. They'd show those experiencing the faith kneeling at the altar of the woke oak tree. They would show new converts as they were baptized in the woke bath and born again. These were my personal favorites. It was always so suspenseful seeing someone submerged in the water and waiting with anticipation to see who they would become on the way back up. I remember one time they baptized Bob Dylan and he came back as Bob Dylan Mulvaney. Like I told you guys back in November, this election was not about Donald Trump. Now, that's nothing against the Trumper. Obviously, I'm glad that he won, but the election was not about him. Republicans could have nominated an actual orange, and the fruit would have beaten Cam Harris. It could have been Vivek Ramaswamy, could have been Ron the Mantis, who has less charisma than a praying mantis, could have been a nominee to be named later. It didn't matter because the election wasn't about the Republican Party. This election was about America rejecting the woke fungus. You know, the woke fungus reminds me of beginners who go viral on YouTube. Yesterday afternoon, I was talking to one of the young dudes at my coffee spot. He's young, 25, maybe 26 years old. He has been trying to make it here on YouTube for a while, and like most, he is struggling. He was telling me how much he hated working his 9-to-5 job and how he just needed that one viral video. He just needed that one push from YouTube to be able to quit his job and fulfill his dream of doing this full time. I told him to be careful what he wished for because if you're looking to do this long term, the last thing you want is a viral video on a small channel. The last thing you want is a channel with 400 subscribers and a video with hundreds of thousands or millions of views. Of course, his first question was why? If I go viral, I'll gain thousands of subscribers. I'll finally be monetized. I'll be able to quit my job. All of that is true except the quitting your job part off one video, but I asked him, have you ever heard of the sentiment being given too much too soon? Going viral gives you the illusion of success. If you look at small channels that go viral off of one video, the vast majority of them all have one thing in common. They fall off just as quickly as they went viral. Why? Because they're not able to maintain their audience. And in most cases, the reason they're not able to maintain their audience is because they're not ready for that level of exposure. I told them this is a marathon, it's not a sprint. You want to build slowly because what happens when you build over time, you're laying your foundation. You're building trust, and more importantly, you're building loyalty with your audience. Both of those things take time. When you go viral, you're here today and your ass is gone tomorrow, which is exactly what happened with the woke movement. May of 2020. Deacons at Woke United Methodist had their viral moment. They used the tragedy with George Floyd to push police brutality and mythical racism. If they had stopped there, maybe, just maybe, they would have found a way to survive. Problem is, they didn't. They started pushing critical race theory in public schools. They started promoting gender-affirming care. Chad Thundercock is confused. He needs help confirming his gender. He doesn't need help. All he needs is directions. Hey, Chad, look south. If something is poking out, you're a dude. Just like viral videos on smaller channels on YouTube, the woke movement was an illusion of success. It was a moment in time. It was a gimmick. And as you guys know, gimmicks are designed to last a certain amount of time. Unfortunately for deacons at Woke United Methodist, time ran out. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the second channel is in the description below. This morning on the second channel, talked about the pending divorce between ESPN and the UFC. Dana White is pissed off with ESPN because they can't seem to get their shit together. He's thinking about moving the UFC over to Netflix. I explain why their partnership with ESPN seems to have pushed the UFC out of the mainstream. So if you haven't already, head over to the second channel and subscribe. Yesterday was a very tough day for the deacons. Normally, Sunday mornings are a time of celebration. They congregate together, they hold hands as they recite the woke prayer. Our Father, who was once our mother, thy changed your name when your wish was installed and your cucumber was removed by RuPaul. But yesterday, there was feelings of sadness, feelings of bitterness at Sunday morning services at Woke United Methodist. For starters, the pews were completely empty. It looked like opening night in the WNBA dump. The collection plates were obviously empty. There were no donations for mission trips to Spain so they could plant the rainbow flag in Madrid while convincing Alejandro to become Alexandra. Question is, why? How did this once popular religion diminish so rapidly? How did attendance go from standing room only to no one standing in the room? Yesterday morning, CNN released a new poll that highlighted the demise of the woke faith. Now, just to be clear, this poll was not conducted by Fox News or something like the Daily Wire. This poll was conducted by CNN, the former home of Don Lemon and Chris Cuomo. Hey, it's me, Chrissy C. Now, Donnie is still a proud deacon, while Chris Cuomo, he has been reformed and he is trying his damnedest to be normal. But according to CNN, not only have normal people abandoned the Democratic Party, the maniacs have also left. Watch for yourself.
Brand new exclusive CNN poll that paints a brutal reality for Democrats as they struggle to mount a unified opposition to President Trump. Americans' favorable views of the Democratic Party's brand are at a record low, just 29%. It is the lowest ever recorded for Democrats in CNN polling going back more than 30 years. As you can see, the party's numbers dropping a staggering 20 points in just 4 years. The CNN SRSR's poll also found 57% of Democrats and Democratic-leaning voters are more interested in seeing their party leaders stop the GOP agenda, compared to 42% who are more interested in cutting bipartisan deals.
This is what happens when you allow the woke fungus to infect your party. This is what happens when you cater to entitlement instead of normal people. For the better part of a decade, the Democrats have been catering to victims, whether it's victims of mythical racism, victims of mythical misogyny. They have catered to people riding the cucumber float at the Gay Pride Parade. They have catered to people with hurt feelings. Feelings, nothing more than feelings. The Democrats have been catering to people who were demanding entitlements to survive. They wanted special treatment based on their so-called marginalized status. The Democrats have given them damn near everything they wanted, and it wasn't enough. When you're dealing with entitlement, it's never enough, and it will never be enough. If you don't believe me, go ask Kat Engelbert, the diva of Dump Divas in the WNBA dump. 5 years ago, she gives WNBA players a raise in their minimum wage. They want more. She gives them an upgrade from the Greyhound to commercial airfare. It wasn't enough. She gives them chartered flights. Now they want more money. There is no such thing as satisfying entitlement. And what's happened with the Democrats and their quest to achieve the impossible and satisfying entitlement? They have turned their backs. They have forgotten about normal people. You know what I found most shocking about that CNN poll? It wasn't the fact that support for the Democratic Party has reached record low levels. That wasn't surprising. It was expected. What was surprising about that poll, 74% of Democrats, they are pissed off because the Democrats aren't doing enough to stop the Trumper. Translation, Democrats aren't woke enough. You know, right now, the Democrats are standing at a crossroads. The choice they make right now, it could determine the future of the party. Hell, it will determine if the party even has a future. Gavin Newsom, governor of the People's Republic of California, he is trying to lead them in the right direction. Gabby is trying to get them away from their obsession with gender and focus on issues that actually matter. Now, I don't agree with Gabby politically, nor do I trust him. I mean, this is the same dude that was standing next to the Pacific Ocean and couldn't find water. But at least Gabby is trying to shift the party away from insanity. That's option number one. Option number two is continuing to do this. Watch for yourself.
Down with the USA! Down with the USA! Down with the USA!
Because you're a Trump supporter.
I know, but don't you guys want our money?
No, actually we don't. Get out of my bar right now.
You're not welcome.
I'm not fucking around. Get out of my bar.
You are never going to relate to normal people when these are the people representing your party. You're never going to get normal people to vote for you when you're supporting groups that hate America. What I don't understand with the Democrats is their fear of pissing off the radical wing of the party. They don't seem to realize that the radicals need them more than they need they. You know, to me, it's an easy choice to make. Gavin Newsom offers you some semblance of a future, while the other side, they're offering you the woke fungus. And we all know what the woke fungus does. Destroys. But give me your thoughts on this. Support for Democrats has reached record low levels. Not hard to figure out why. Main problem is Democrats have lost all support. They have lost the support from normal people years ago, and they have now lost the support from the far left. Which side are they going to choose? Will they go with Gavin Newsom, who is trying to normalize the party, for lack of a better word, or will they go with the emotional bartender who gets outraged when a Trump supporter walks into the bar? If they go with the emotional bartender, which I think they will, is it over for the Democrats? Will they have a future in this country? You tell me. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.